going for your first comedian, the hilarious, the always funny, the always delightful Evelyn Yu.
All right, hi everyone. Hey. So great to be back here. I haven't been here in what, like a year? Yeah, so I got glasses. So when I heard the theme for the show was Thanksgiving and what you're thankful for, the first thing I thought of was getting to be here up on the stage with my fellow teen comedians and also the people and the staff who are able to make this happen. I'd like everyone to give a hand to Joanne and Mary who are able to get us to be here today. All right, another thing that I'm thankful for that came to mind was the fact that the New York City mayoral race is over. And I'm fairly sure that I, amongst lots of you, have very strong opinions on this. So I'd like to have a lighthearted, good-spirited debate about what our opinions are. So, show of hands who voted for Mandami. No, I'm just joking. No religion, no politics at Gotham Comedy Club. All right. So, when I think about Thanksgiving, let's be honest, it's more stress and agony than a Norman Rockwell painting. So, at my family Thanksgivings, there's usually two types of wine. Pinot Noir and when can we go home? Right. All right. So, I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving, personally. Not because I don't like seeing family, not because I don't like the food, but because of that one tradition where everyone gets in a circle and says some things that they're thankful for. You know, there's always that one uncle who thinks he's the custodian of tradition, and he takes a fork and a wine glass, dings it, ding, 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 and he says, all right, everyone, since we're all gathered here today, it would be so great if we could all get together in a circle and share something we're thankful for. And there's always a lot of different personalities at the Thanksgiving table. There's always that little kid, he says something like, I'm thankful for my Hot Wheels cars and a Roblox. And he's like grinding RoboGarden the whole time. If the adults didn't get that, that was for the kids. There's the teen girl, she'll say something like, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for when you leave me alone, Dad. But like, could I have $200? I'm going to Sephora later. She also just got really into K-pop and can't stop talking about how Jungkook is basically her husband. And she has a Snapchat streak older than she is. Well, the moms always say the same thing. I'm so grateful that we're all allowed to be here today. I know we only get to see you guys once a year, and I really cherish this moment. And I'm like, Mom, you were just yelling at Dad in the car about how you didn't want to see his stupid sisters. Yeah, that brings me back to the idea, you know something I find 10 times more interesting than the actual Thanksgiving festivities? The pre-Thanksgiving conversations happening in the car. There's always those signature phrases like, we only need to see them once a year. Let's just get this over with. If you're the kind of person who says Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday, I have one thing to say to you. You're lying. It's my brother over there. All right. Shh. My moment. Shh. Okay. Yep, no one walks out of a Thanksgiving dinner feeling thankful. Everyone walks out feeling slightly more constipated than they did before. Do you want to know what I'm thankful for this year? I'm thankful for NVIDIA. You see, when I was younger, I used to do some modeling, probably some brands that you've heard of. There's Target, Tommy Hilfiger, Uniqlo. I was actually an extra on Law & Order. And from that modeling, I made some pretty good money. So one of my uncles, his name's Jensen, he works in tech. He recommended that I invest some of that money into NVIDIA. Would anybody like to guess the stock price of NVIDIA in 2018?
I want to.
That's close. $3.40. $3.40. So I went all in. And as of today, the stock price of Nvidia, what was that? is $190. Yeah, I'm financially independent. I don't even need my parents around anymore. But I don't leave because I don't think my parents are ready to be empty nesters. You know, they'd just be so lonely and bored without me, and I feel horrible. So that's why I stick around. I have the goodness of my heart. You know, I pay for my mom's Botox, veneers, implants, dental implants. I pay for my dad's flight upgrades, and a secret vice that many middle-aged men nowadays have. Hokas. Here's another thing that I don't miss, that I don't really like about Thanksgivings. How mom has to take pictures of everything and anything. You can't touch that casserole until it's been thoroughly documented David Attenborough style. She has this saying that she likes to use. It goes like, if you don't take a picture, it never happened. I wish that were true. No one took a picture of me clogging the toilet at my friend's bat mitzvah. Nowadays, so Thanksgiving, it largely relies on food. That's the general stereotype, right? But recently, those things are beginning to change, especially with the rise of GLP-1s like Ozempic. Yeah, we all have that one relative who used to be plus size, but now they're built like a stick figure. So, what is to become of Thanksgiving, the holiday that largely relies on food? What's going to happen now that people aren't eating the same ways? Is it just going to be like 50 distant relatives all gathered at one table to suck on ice cubes? No one's going to be eating like full-blown corn anymore. No, that's too much. They're going to be like nibbling on baby corn, Tom Hanks in Big style. There's going to be no more communal potluck. There's going to be a single communal chicken wing. No one's gonna be eating a full turkey anymore. I mean, people might still buy it for like the tradition and the sentimental values, but really it's gonna be more of a decorative centerpiece than actual food. Now, speaking of GLP-1s, Eli Lilly has just announced that next year, in 2026, GLP-1s will not only be available in injection form, but also as pills. Now, of course, this will change a lot of things. For example, they'll become more accessible, more people start taking GLP-1s. But listen up. This is for you, Mom and Dad. This is a bigger game changer than you may think. This is how I imagine it playing out. This is my mom, it's my dad. Oh, honey, I think I've been gaining a lot of weight. Should I start taking a GLP-1? No, honey, you're perfect just the way you are. And then out in the middle of the night, he takes that one mortar and pestle he bought 5 years ago in Mexico, because my dad has this fantasy that he's always making homemade guacamole. He takes it, he puts the GLP-1 pill, smashes it up, and puts it in my mom's morning matcha latte. And like 2 weeks later, my mom's just like, oh, honey, I was so concerned about my weight, but it's been 2 weeks and I've already lost 5 pounds. It must be the Pilates. I told you that reformer was a good investment. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. I've even come up with a name for it. So ladies, next time you're spiking your partner, next time you're putting some Ozempic powder in your partner's protein shake, now you have a word for it, so you can go gossip to your girlfriends. Ozem spiking. No, honey, I could really see your six-pack. I told you planks work. All right, now in all seriousness, even though there are some pesky traditions, I do love Thanksgiving. I hope you all eat a lot of turkey this year. Fortunately, we don't have to suck on ice cubes yet. All right, happy Thanksgiving and see you at the floats.
One more more time for Evelyn.